just seems disgraceful. And I'm not saying disgraceful in the sense that if somebody's against the war, I don't believe that, because that's a legitimate point of view to have. I think it's a legitimate point of view to say that we ought to get out now. But that's not what anybody's saying. They're just saying, yeah, we know they're going, we're not supporting them. It's just the enemy clearly can see the political will is waning
right
here, and hopefully they'll lay low. We can gain some control, and a political solution might work. If the surge doesn't work, and we're in a tough situation, but the pullout would be a catastrophic occurrence, I think, in the loss of human life in Iraq and the long-term damage to just the American image abroad. I mean, why would Taiwan or South Korea think we would really support them if we had to fight more than a few months? Well, I've talked with them, and it's so emotional that people are not going to give real reasons, because I've talked to some of my Republican colleagues just to try to clear the air, because it sounded so personal and both ways. I think what the bottom line of this is most people in Congress, Republicans and Democrats, voted to go when it was popular. It's not popular now, and I think a lot of folks would like to distance themselves from that decision. And so they're really not trying to affect policy. They're trying to distance themselves so they can say I was against it after I was for it. And in a few months they can say I told you so if it doesn't work. Well, it's just hard not to get really angry, because people are clearly not trying to do something that's good policy or leading. What we're doing is what politicians often do, is they're trying to say I feel strongly both ways. And I feel strongly supporting the troops, and I feel strongly that we shouldn't be there or shouldn't be surging. And they want to have both positions, and they're afraid, they're not willing to accept the real choices. The real choice is disgrace, humiliation, and get ourselves out of there and save some lives, our own lives, or we figure out how to win. And the resolution is not one of those choices. I mean, a lot of us don't like to accept what happened in Vietnam after we left. Thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands who were killed. And it was not nearly the tinderbox that we've got here in Iraq. There's still tons and tons of chemical weapons and stockpile there that are degrading. We've got the Iran on one side that doesn't want the Sunnis to take charge, and you got Lebanon, you got Jordan, you got Syria, and if we let this thing collapse, then it's our fault. We can't walk away and say it was going to happen anyway, because we left Saddam Hussein there. I mean, he may kill a few thousand people to keep order, but the destruction would be at our hands. So sometimes there are a lot of questions now I have about strategy in the beginning and whether or not it was well thought out. But as leaders, and I think we have to look at ourselves that way, we're there. I mean, the reality is we're there. And the reality of leaving is